Today we're gonna review the 5 best rackets to buy on Black Friday for less than 150 euros. 4th of them you have already seen them, and the 5th one is the surprise, my favorite racket for less than 150 euros for this Black Friday. Hello to all players, I'm Pablo and I welcome you to a new 4Set. There are hundreds of different rackets in the market, and this is because that every year brands release new models. But the 2023 rackets are still a good option to buy and save money, especially now on Black Friday because the rackets are on their cheapest price. So let's take a look at the best 5 rackets that we can buy with just 150 euros. And let's start with what for me is the best looking racket, the Adidas Metalbone Carbon. Is this the racket that Ale Galán uses? Well, it is very similar, but no. This racket is used by Pablo Cardona and Paul Hernandez, 2 future stars. So what are the differences between this and Ale Galán's racket? First of all, with this racket you cannot change the weight and the balance with screws as you can do it with Ale Galán's. Secondly, Galán's racket has 2 versions, the hard and the soft one. But this Metalbone Carbon has a black cap, which means it uses Adidas soft rubber. So no, there is no hard version of this racket. And finally, this racket incorporates 6K carbon fiber. That is a pretty unusual carbon to see in rackets nowadays, as you usually see 3K or 12K carbon. I need to repeat it one more time, but the design of this racket for me is amazing, super stylish. However, all Adidas rackets have a handicap for me, that is the handle. This is just 11 centimeters and for me is quite short. Also, the string used in the racket is too short and uncomfortable because it is so thick. But how does this racket perform on court? Well, for me the best of this racket is the sweet spot. Regardless of its diamond shape, which sometimes favors the impact with the upper area of the racket, it responds well throughout its hitting area. However, I don't really like the Adidas soft rubber. It doesn't give me the best feeling to add speed to every ball. So I don't think this racket will be the perfect racket for those who want to be aggressive, especially in overhead shots. But it is a good option for those who love its design and have a wide sweet spot. Actually, it is a racket that from the first moment you feel it easy to use. The next racket will fool you when you see it. But first, will you help me subscribing to the channel to reach 20k subscribers and do a giveaway of these 5 rackets? Well, the next racket looks sweet because of its color, but take care, because the head gravity motion is an aggressive racket. Obviously, I don't like the colors that they have chosen at head, but I do like the performance of this racket. The motion rackets in head are the lighter versions of the Pro models. And honestly, I love light rackets. This racket weighs 355 grams and moves very well, even though it has a very high balance of 27 centimeters. But for me, the best thing of this racket is the rubber. It uses the power foam that is the same rubber that Arturo's Coelho's racket. It is a medium hard rubber, but the key of this racket is the combination with the fiberglass. Now in Madrid it is quite cold and a racket like this, medium hard, becomes incredible to play with. Most probably in summer it will become too soft, but now it is perfect. And this is very important, be aware of the temperatures and how they affect the rackets. With the agility and the feel that this racket has, I feel like I am able to put the ball where I want it, both on defense and attack. That's what I was saying, that this racket with these colors is tricky. It looks sweet, but it's spicy. If 355 grams is not enough for you, consider to buy the Pro version. But I, with my arm, feel much easier to play with this version than with a heavier one. Do you like heavier or lighter rackets? Leave your opinion in the comments. The rough of this racket is something that heads should working on it because it's not noticeable. But now let's move on to one of the StarVie's most historical rackets, the Aquila. The model before the Aquila was used by players like Ale Galán and was without a doubt one of StarVie's best rackets. In fact, I have a 2019 Aquila that worked very good, but the racket has evolved and nowadays you can choose between a soft version and a hard version. And which one have I tried? The soft one. It is called Soft 30 and in this case, no matter how cold it is in Madrid, it is too soft for me. I find this racket not very easy to control because of the high ball output it has. To defend, it will help you to pass the ball to the other side, but when you want to be aggressive, I don't feel the ideal response. Therefore, I will recommend the Pro version to be able to have more control and more power, especially in overhead shots. But anyways, the Aquila is a very successful racket for many years. But something that I don't like from this racket is the diffuser that comes with it. Generally, all diffusers on racket end up peeling off or giving problems, although I haven't had any problems with this one so far. If we were talking about classic rackets, let's go now to talk about the 5th generation of the Wilson's Carbon Force model. This model is Wilson's cheapest racket at the moment, and that surprised me because I consider this racket a very technical one. I usually like lighter rackets because those are easier to swing, but this has surprised me a lot. It is the heaviest racket for today's review with 383 grams. The agility of the racket is not the best because of the weight and the 27 centimeters balance. But for someone who likes stiff, heavy rackets and has a lot of power, I have just discovered a goldmine. I have noticed that this racket penalized me for being late to hit, and I can squeeze the racket because of my strength. So like this video to motivate me to go to the gym. But if you can solve this, you will have so much fun. I also have the feeling that the hitting surface is not as big as with the Adidas or the head. The head or the throat is so big that maybe has reduced the hitting surface. But anyways, when you accelerate the arm, the ball gets a lot of speed. It's a pretty technical racket in my opinion, but if you are able to get the most out of it, you will be very happy with it. But be careful those who hold the racket too low because the wrist cord can get in the way. The design is very simple in a metal color that seems to be unbreakable. And if you pay attention, this racket don't have any kind of rough finish, so we can consider it as an old school racket. And last but not least, my favorite racket for this Black Friday for less than 150 euros is the Babolat Air Veron. Yes, I repeat it so many times, I like rackets, but this racket is not so light. If the head gravity motions weigh 355 grams, the Air Veron weighs 364. However, its 24.2 centimeters balance makes the agility of this racket a real madness. Not only that, but the handle of the Adidas was 11 centimeters, the handle of this racket is 14 centimeters. You will feel very comfortable with this racket because of its ease of movements and feel. Don't forget that we are talking about the Air Veron and not the Viper, so this racket combines carbon fiber and fiberglass. On the other hand, the Viper version only uses carbon fiber, so it is more stiffer. But now with these temperatures, the Veron performs perfectly. Obviously, it's not going to be the most powerful racket you are going to find. And for me, it's about the same as the gravity motion. But if you start using this racket, you will most likely feel very comfortable from the very first moment. Aspects to improve on this racket without a doubt is the rough. Juan Lebron's racket, for example, has a much more effective rough finish. And with this racket, it's a bit complicated to get all the spin you can on the ball. I have tried to collect rackets for all kind of players that meet the budget for the Black Friday, and I have given you my opinion about them. Some rackets are stiff and very powerful like the Carbon Force, others lighter and very comfortable like the Gravity Motion and the Air Veron. We also have very complete and beautiful rackets such as the Metalbone Carbon and classic rackets that in their Pro version are a safe bet like the Aquila. Do you have any doubt about these rackets? Thanks for watching the video, don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one.